Hi, hey, how you doing? If you enjoy the Scooge podcast and supporting the pod seems like it's worth the money, you can click our Anchor.fm page support link. It's that first link in the description box down below and all of our videos. If you make your contribution, you can add your own custom message or question which we will read on the show. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy today's episode. Clear. Did they count down? I'm just gonna count down. 3, 2, 1, clear. Damn it, we're losing him. He's flatlining. I'm gonna have to give him CPR.
Get off me!
Joe, you're back.
Yeah, no thanks to you.
And then
I don't know where that was.
Daryl shoots you in the head with a crossbow. Zombie.
I didn't even think about that little that possibility. Hey, gummit, and I'm the Walking Dead fan. I didn't even think about the zombie.
I know.
Way.
Maybe these should be more scripted out, but I think they're kind of funny when we're just improvising as well. Well, damn. Yeah, a lot happened in episode 22. This episode, I kissed Joseph and he became a zombie.
It's like that, which I've actually never seen it, but I know there's some kind of zombie romance movie called Warm Bodies or something.
Warm Bodies?
Like, what is that? Like, I've never seen it, but I know there's some kind of romance between a zombie and a human girl or something.
Okay, yeah, so this guy's a zombie and some of them still have like their human characteristics, and this girl's like in a survival group or whatever, and she finds him attractive, and then like they slowly start hanging out, and then he like becomes human. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but that's like the best I could tell you of my best of my ability.
Which, I mean, you probably know more about it than I do.
Roll the intro.
Probably the worst intro we've ever done. And that's saying something, alright?
Hello everybody, welcome to episode 22 of the Scooge podcast. Your host Scurly D, and I have my co-host JDHD97, also known as Zombie 97, also known as the Walker 97, also known as the Joe Mash Experience,
also known as the Worthy.
Oh, here we go again. Can we just have one episode where you don't like just ruin it?
Nah.
That's all I ask for. Just one. All right, fine. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Woo.
I don't have anything to discuss. What about that new Venom trailer?
What about it?
Sucked.
I actually didn't see it yet.
Oh, really? No. Spoilers, it sucked. And it's also directed by Andy Serkis, I think. Or it's gonna be directed by...
that can't be right.
I'm pretty sure.
That can be right.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me look. I do not believe that.
Read it and weep. Directed by Andy Serkis.
Wow. Yeah, I just looked it up.
So, interesting one, that one.
Like Gollum, Andy Serkis? Yeah, okay.
Yep, the same Jungle Book guy, the Mowgli guy.
Wow.
What do you think? You have any hope for it, or is it just a lost cause at this point? Oh, he's directing the Batman. Did you know that?
No, he's not directing.
Oh, never mind. I don't know why Google does that. I don't know why Google does that. They'll just like
he's gonna be Alfred in the Batman.
Oh, is he? That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has ties to the Batman, but it made it seem like
he was the guy that was talking in the trailer. Go back and watch the trailer. It's Andy Serkis.
Oh, I thought that was narrated by the Riddler.
No, there was Riddler in there, but some of it was Alfred.
Oh, I thought the Riddler was narrating the whole thing, but okay.
No.
I digress. Okay, yeah, Matt Reeves did the Planet of the Apes movies and Clover. Did he do? No, he did not do Cloverfield, right? That was JJ.
What?
Never mind. Okay, getting off topic. JDHD Experience. Welcome to the JDHD Experience live from New York. It's Monday night. We didn't even mention Elon Musk and Iron Man 2. I mean, it's not super important, but I just never caught that.
Who is that?
Oh my god. Joseph, I know you're fucking with me. Don't even try. Wait, Joseph, what are we doing? We didn't even discuss the post-credit scenes from Iron Man 2 and Thor. I don't even remember them, to be honest.
Iron Man 2 was the Thor and the
Oh
hammer.
yeah, Agent Coulson and yeah, New Mexico.
Thor was it just the Loki was alive post credit?
What was the Thor post credit?
So I'll be honest, even when I rewatched them, I didn't stay for the post credit. I probably should have.
Hold on.
I want to say I know the Thor post credit scene was.
I try to watch them all.
Loki.
Oh yeah, he possessed.
It being revealed like Loki was possessing.
Yeah.
Skarsgård.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Now.
Selvig. Eric Selvig. Now I remember his daggone name.
And the irrelevant episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now. Cool. We got that out of the way. Yay. Now we're going to be talking about Captain America. Captain America. The first Avenger. I know. That's the movie we're talking about today, ladies and gents.
Yep. The first movie we're talking about today.
Yeah, we're gonna cover the rest of the MCU in this episode.
Oh, we'll be finished with Phase 1 after this.
Oh, will we? That makes sense.
Yeah, Phase 1 ends with the first Avengers movie.
Nice. Oh yeah. Synopsis time, I forgot.
Oh yeah, this joy.
I think I kept it straight for this one.
Oh, you didn't drop any Game of Thrones or
no Loki reference.
Hannibal Lecter jokes.
No Loki TV reference here, I don't think.
And
Captain America.
So no Elrond Lord of the Rings reference for Hugo Weaving.
Nope. Sadly, no.
No Human Torch for Chris Evans. No.
It is 1942. America has entered World War II. And sickly but determined, Steve Rogers is frustrated at being rejected yet again for military service because he's a strang bane. Everything changes when Dr. Erskine recruits him for a secret project called Project Rebirth. Proving his extraordinary courage, wits, and conscience, Rogers undergoes the experiment and his weak body is suddenly enhanced into Thor. When Dr. Erskine is then immediately assassinated by an agent of Nazi Germany's secret Hydra research department, headed by Johann, is that how you say it? Johann Schmidt, aka Redman. Rogers is left as a unique man who is initially misused as propaganda mascot. However, when his comrades need him, Rogers goes on a successful adventure that truly makes him Captain America, and his war against Schmidt begins. And he dates, or he doesn't date, but he falls in love with some chick named Peggy. So yeah, J-Mash, why don't you kick us off?
I mean, I like this movie. I mean, it's definitely the weaker of the Captain America trilogy, but it's still pretty daggone good.
I see.
I'm just curious where you stand, because you've never seen these movies.
Okay. I had some issues with it. Not gonna lie.
I kind of gathered that from our last discussion.
Uh,
And you try to play it off like you don't know what you're talking about.
can I go ahead and give my score, because this will help with like how I feel about the movie in comparison with another one.
Are you rating it low?
Not, it's above average. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Now, with that being said, I gave Thor a 5 out of 10. But I enjoyed Thor more at face value than Captain America.
Really?
Yes. I enjoyed Thor more than Captain America, the first Avenger.
Okay,
I know it shocked me too, but I came to the conclusion, I'm like, I enjoyed watching Thor more.
Alright, do tell.
I mean, what do I get?
Like, what didn't you like about it?
I didn't like Red Skull. I didn't like...
Really?
Yeah, I did not like Red Skull at all. Very weak villain. I'll just get into it while we're at it. The skinny effect on the skinny effect can be bad and good at the same time. Like, there's some scenes where it looks really good and convincing, and then some it's just like so out of place. It like took me out of the movie. The romance between Steve and Peggy does not seem fleshed out at all. Just seems very inorganic. I mean, this whole film feels very inorganic, if that makes sense. Including the ending. Spoilers, he gets frozen. Well, it doesn't even really say that he does, but we're just to assume because he landed in like an Arctic region of the world. And he's just cryogenically frozen until 70 years later. Or whatever the span of time is. Yeah, I didn't like this at all. Like, some of the plot. I mean, I see merit in it. I rated it higher than Thor, but ultimately, at face value, it's not a very engaging or entertaining movie to me.
Wow.
Like, the character development of Steve Rogers is not that good. Like, it seems like two completely different people we're getting in this movie.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like, his personality traits are even different when he's a little strangbane. But then when he becomes Captain America, the only thing we see is that he's shy with that one woman that wants to give him a kiss, and that's like the only semblance of Steve, the first half of Steve Rogers that we see with this now Captain America. I did like the angle of him being like this mascot for the military, and then like proving himself to General or whatever that he's like a super soldier. The tone of the film I did not like at all. A lot of the scenes felt disjointed, and the pacing was kind of a slog for me. Felt a little boring at points. Steve Rogers as a character, I don't really care for. I'm not very engaged with this character, and I don't really care what happens to him. I think Thor and Tony Stark are much more fleshed out and engaging. Steve just kind of seems one-dimensional, like this do no wrong, yes, and chosen one to be part of this project because just such a good guy. Which, I mean, he's like the model soldier or citizen, like both. He's like the model of that. And I don't know, it just seems, I don't know, too old-fashioned, too one-dimensional. Doesn't feel like a real person. Doesn't feel real. I know this is a superhero movie, but I mean, I feel like they handle it much better with Tony Stark. And even Thor. Thor felt more human, and he's not human. And I'll let J-Mash take the floor. He seems a little far gone.
No, because I will say, because you've only seen this movie once, and you haven't seen Winter Soldier or Civil War,
right? But aren't I supposed to judge the movie on its own merit? Like, this movie exists before those.
Because I'm trying to remember.
I don't care.
I don't remember really caring for this movie when I first saw it, but after rewatching it with the whole trilogy, I really enjoyed the first Captain America. So it may be one of those things where if you rewatch it at the end of all this, maybe you'll like it more. But I will say, I agree with some of your points. I disagree with the Red Skull. I think he's a pretty daggum good villain. With a lot of... yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know where he would rank among the rest of them. Looking at it now, I'd probably say he's maybe in the low top 10. Maybe.
The first Captain America?
Red Skull is like a
villain. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Which
I don't know, man. I was not vibing with 11. This villain, and didn't. What's supposed to be so menacing or threatening or interesting about Red Skull? Did I miss something?
I mean, he was the polar opposite to Captain America, and where Captain America was sacrificing himself from beginning to end. Both of them were super soldiers, but they everything that Captain America was, Red Skull was the evil version of Captain America.
The antithesis. I don't really see that.
And I like Hugo Weaving.
I mean, yeah, I like him too as an actor, but not really in this role.
No, I liked him. I liked him as Red Skull. The voice, I thought thought was good.
I mean, the look of him is good, but
I didn't think the effects were that bad.
No, I mean, I don't have any problems with how he looks or how he was portrayed. The writing for him, I did not care for. I don't see what's so menacing about this villain, what's so engaging or interesting. You say he's the antithesis of Steve Rogers, but even I don't really see that. I mean, he's just like textbook bad guy, like twirling mustache bad guy. And I mean, even those are more menacing than this guy. Like, he didn't even really flex anything to be afraid of or to be considered a threat much. There are points I know, but I don't know. I mean, he's in the other two, right?
I'm not gonna spoil it.
I mean, I think it's safe to assume, so I'll give him a chance, you know. But this first one, it just didn't land for me. I didn't care for him.
I mean, I even liked him in this first movie.
To each his own.
I should probably write down this ranking of the MCU villains so I know whether or not I rank them in the top 10. So I'd say at the highest, I don't even like I'm trying to think of all the daggum MCU villains. I don't know how many there. I mean, there's 23 movies. There's some secondary villains. I don't know. I probably should write this crap down. Yeah, that's a video for another day. I'm not even gonna spend that much time on it in this podcast. But I mean, I like this movie. I disagree with the Peggy Steve relationship that you said. I don't think it's the best relationship of the MCU.
Not by a long shot.
But I wouldn't even say that. I'd probably put in the top 5, maybe even top 3.
Like again, like I know.
Which that one I will say that one is the whole plays out in the future.
Yeah. I
the Red Skull, I'll go ahead and say he doesn't show up until Infinity War.
The third.
Infinity War.
Oh, Infinity War. Okay.
Which you saw that.
Again, with the romance, I feel like it's not worth it. Like it doesn't feel like anything because again, it just feels like the female is falling, just being lustful, which there's nothing wrong with liking someone for their looks, but that's like.
But they had better chemistry than Natalie Portman and Chris Hemsworth, though.
I would disagree.
Agree to disagree, then.
Yeah. But for all you audience, bulk up.
What?
Bulk up. Get swole.
Oh.
Because Steve Rogers did not have a chance in hell with Peggy.
Oh yeah, I will say that. Yeah, that. I'm not even gonna get started on that one.
Bulk up, fellas. See, that's why I feel like this romance subplot is just... It's not worth it. It has
that aspect,
be...
yes, it does bother me.
But, what would you rate it, Joseph?
Oh, we're already getting into the ratings?
Well, remember, I gave it a 6 out of 10, and that's... from the gate, I gave it a 6 out of 10, because I wanted to make that comparison with Thor. That even though I rated it higher, because I saw more merit to it, maybe more rewatchability. I enjoyed Thor more.
I've seen this movie. I don't even. 4 or 5 times, something like that. And I've liked it each time. Like I've liked it more and more. Like I said, it's the weakest of the Captain America trilogy, but it's still pretty daggone good. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if I put it. I want to say it was my number 11 MCU movie. I don't remember if it made my top 10 because I know it was. If it wasn't in the top 10, I know 10 was number 10 was Incredible Hulk. I don't remember which one I put higher though. I mean, I like this movie. I liked it even more this most recent time I watched it. 80%.
That's fair. Yeah. Definitely weak at times, though. All right.
Yeah, like I said, agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Now this one, we'll probably finish up the hour because we're only 25 minutes. We can do a whole hour on the daggum Avengers movie by itself.
I don't know if I
probably.
can. I'll hold you to that. But here we go. Here goes nothing. The Avengers, directed by Joss Whedon. Loki, the adopted brother of Thor, teams up with the Chitauri. Saying that right? Chitauri. Army uses the Tesseract's power to travel from Asgard to Midgard to plot the invasion of Earth and become a king. The director of the agency S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury, sets in motion Project Avengers, joining Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Bruce Banner, and Natasha Romanoff, and Arrow.
Clint Barton, Hawkeye.
Arrow. That's what I'm calling him.
Dear Lord.
To save the world from the powerful...
Just disrespect.
Powerful Loki from the Disney Plus Loki television series, and the alien invasion.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Am I missing something?
I was waiting for another stupid joke.
I
can't believe you daggum did the Loki joke again.
You know what I should have done?
What?
Scooter Tesseracts.
I'm actually kind of liking the Loki joke now.
What could I have done with the Chitauri army?
You could have made a joke about the droids of the Galactic of the Trade Federation.
We're gonna bleep that out.
How? You're not the Loki joke? They basically defeated them the same way.
We're gonna bleep the whole 5 minutes out. Past 5 minutes.
Man. Alright, well, go ahead and get into the movie. You've already told me that you didn't really care for it.
Yeah, should I go ahead and just like shit on it and then you can make your points, or do you want to talk positively about it and then I rain on your parade?
No, yeah, you go ahead. Because I'm actually curious what you think about it.
Okay. Alright.
Just do it one point at a time.
Okay, sure. So this was directed by Joss Whedon. He's known for doing television series, and I gotta say, this feels like a television miniseries. It feels cheap at times, and a lot of it is made up of two characters monologuing with each other in a single room. Film doesn't feel very dynamic for this supposed to be the Avengers. You know, it's supposed to be like bigger than life, but the scope of it doesn't seem that big, apart from the final act. But you don't feel any danger or risk or any stakes for these characters at the end because they're just kicking ass the whole time. And it's just,
well, it's a superhero movie.
It drags on, and the action's not. I honestly had to skip through a lot of that, or fast forward.
I don't agree with that one. I was with you with the two characters monologuing, which I personally don't mind because I know some people. I'm not saying you're one of these people. No, I'm not saying you're one of these people. I'm not saying you're one of these people.
I know what that means.
But it doesn't. I don't require action, non-stop action to hold.
No.
I enjoy
yeah. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not saying this is me, but I'm defending the people who think this way. I don't think that's like the problem inherently with these like monologues. I think there's too much over explanation of character motivations and the plot. Because like I said, I was more engaged with the Avengers, you know, having conflict with each other. Excuse me. I was more interested in that than the final battle. I was the most bored during the final battle. But I know you weren't talking about me, but just to
I do not agree with that at all. It's not my favorite battle. Actually, that would be a very interesting ranking video of the ranking of the final battles, now that I think about it. It's not my favorite superhero finale in these MCU movies. I'm trying to think. It would definitely be up there though. Like top 5, probably.
Well,
from the jokes that are cut, from the action itself.
oh yeah,
Once
it's too quippy.
I will say I didn't mind it.
Everybody is the comic relief in this movie. I don't mind comic reliefs at all, but when everyone's a comic relief, it throws off. I don't know.
See, that's my problem with Guardians 2, and well, we'll get to those in the future.
Mm-hmm.
With this, it was a nice blend of comedy and serious dialogue.
Yeah, I will agree that it did strike a nice balance, but man, like I guess
most of, if not all of the jokes still hit.
Yeah, I'll admit some hit for me, but my gosh, they wrote Tony Stark like everything's a joke. Like every single sentence is a joke.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the writers or Robert Downey himself. Because you watch any Robert Downey Jr. interview, and you pretty much get the Tony Stark we know now. Like that's his improv with sarcasm and everything else.
I know, but it's just exasperated so much more in this film. Like besides even the final conflict, there's a lot of quips. But aside from him and Captain America repairing the ship, or what's it called? The Avengers.
The helicarrier, which I didn't mind that either.
Aside from that, kind of semi-serious moment Tony shows, it's just nothing but quip after quip after quip. The Hulk looks better. That's a positive, but I don't really care for what's his name?
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo.
I'll say this is the best Mark Ruffalo performance.
Yeah. I will agree with that as well. Although I haven't seen Endgame.
Yeah, I was about to say, even though you haven't really seen in any of his other movies.
I've seen
Age of Ultron. You've seen Age of Ultron and Infinity War. That's it.
I mean, what else is he in? Ragnarok and Endgame?
Ragnarok and Endgame.
Yeah.
I believe.
Tit for tat.
Was that all he was doing?
Probably.
Yeah.
Another problem I have. I don't mind Loki being a villain, but a term I introduced to you, I feel like he's entirely flenderized.
Now remind me again what you meant. Like, what does that mean?
It simplifies a character to one set trait or motivation.
Okay, yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah, no, I will disagree with that.
Well, I mean, all he wants to be is king. What else is to the character? He wants to be
I've got to stop. I've got to stop. Because here's the problem with these videos. I have the benefit of hindsight and knowing how each thing turns out, whereas you don't. So, yeah. I will say, as a whole, it's kind of hard not to really spoil this.
Well, I'm not talking about Loki's character as a whole. I said I liked them in Thor. I'm talking strictly of the Avengers. I didn't like how they wrote them.
I mean, this is the only time, spoiler alert, this is the only time Loki is a true villain.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't really a villain in the first Thor movie.
Well,
He's
the main antagonist.
antagonist, yeah, but it's villain, eh.
Evil mastermind.
He's more like I wouldn't really call him an anti-hero either.
Totally not.
As a whole, I would say he's an anti-hero.
He develops
but,
into like an anti-hero, right? Like, not
yeah,
totally a villain.
yeah. I don't even know.
I mean,
He develops into an anti-hero, but I'm trying to think. I wouldn't really call him an anti-hero in the first Thor movie, but I wouldn't really call him a villain.
What's the happy middle ground?
As much as I would, I guess, yeah. It is. I don't know. This is by far his most.
I mean, look, if you go by textbook definition, I feel like he fits the anti-hero.
As a whole, yes. He's an anti-hero.
A central character in a story, movie, or drama who lacks conventional heroic attributes.
Which I don't really want to get too much into spoilers, but he becomes more. I would argue he's actually ends as a hero. But that's the video for another day. What other problems do you have with it? I don't even remember what all you said.
Like I said, it besides some special effects, it felt like a TV show, or looked like a TV show. It looked cheap. Didn't enjoy like the two characters monologuing in one room.
Yeah, I don't agree. The monologue I know, like, I understand why you don't, because you're not a fan of. I know there was one freaking movie that we done on Scooge. I don't know what the movie was.
A movie we don't agree on?
Yeah, that we don't agree on.
That's every movie we discuss. Just kidding.
But it was like mostly dialogue.
Was it a Tarantino?
Was it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? What's your opinion on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh, I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, that's not it.
If you think I have a problem with dialogue, I don't. If it's written badly, I do. But I just saw another Tarantino film last night where it's like nothing but dialogue, and I loved it. Jackie Brown. I would highly recommend it for anyone. It's on HBO Max now. Anyway.
What's the daggone movie?
Star Wars.
Yeah, a Star War.
A Star. And now I'm curious to what movie you're speaking of. You got me.
I know once I hear it or say it, it'll.
What's the plot? What?
Ding, ding, ding.
Actors.
I don't remember. That's the thing.
Like not even like.
Why did I type in Star Wars? Jesus.
You.
We were talking about Star Wars, and I just automatically typed Star Wars in the YouTube search.
Google the movie Skrilly D and JMash 97 disagree on the most, or are split on the most. I think that'll give you the perfect search result.
Joker, Black Power Project. Wow, Noah.
Uh-oh,
Project Black Power.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what it is.
Dear Lord. Yeah, you've edited some of these thumbnails.
Well, of course I did. I've done that like a month ago.
Did we do a Scooch episode on it, or just was it one of those things where we discussed it like off?
I really have no idea what movie you're speaking of.
I don't know. Anyway, there was some movie I know where I loved it. You didn't really care for it. That was nothing but dialogue. It'll be one. It's probably one of those things like Eric Selvig. I'll remember it like after we hang up on the call, and I'll be like, "Oh, it's that movie! It's that movie!"
Let's figure it out right now. Let's settle this. A movie. Okay. So let me clarify the specifics. A movie you like, right?
Grown Ups.
A movie I dislike.
Grown Ups.
And I said I dislike this movie because too much dialogue or bad dialogue?
I want to say you said too much dialogue. There may have been more reasons why you disliked it, but that was like the main criticism you had. I legit don't even remember this.
This is a spicy one. I am genuinely curious now. This is more interesting than the Avengers to me right now, but we'll continue. Yeah, I think I've said my piece. I'll go ahead and rate it. I didn't like this one. 4 out of 10.
Oh, wow. Oh, you're going to have to give me a minute. That one hurt. 4 out of 10.
Yep.
Somebody look up in the past. What did you rate Godfather 3?
Either 2 or 3 out of 10.
Wow.
Hold on, let me check my letterbox, see if pretty sure I rated it.
Yeah, I do not agree in the slightest.
We just
I love this movie.
Stuff.
It was, I guess so. Love this movie. It held my attention. It held my attention from beginning to end.
Sorry to interrupt. I gave Godfather Part 3 2 out of 10.
Jeez. Personally held my attention from beginning to end. I was never really bored personally. The jokes still hold up. The action still holds up. It's... I gotta rewatch Age of Ultron because I was about to say it's the weakest of the Avengers movies, but even though I remember liking Age of Ultron, and I know as far as a ranking video, I know I ranked Age of Ultron lower. I don't know. But I mean, I like this movie from beginning to end. 80%. Maybe 85.
Is there anything that makes it stand out? Like,
well, for starters,
is there anything that grabs you more than the other movies because this one's higher than most of the movies we have reviewed? I know not the highest, but
I'm about to say because Iron Man.
I just want to see from your perspective, what's the big appeal? What's the fun factor? What's the thing I should be engaged with or enthralled with? Because I simply wasn't. I wasn't into this film. I tried.
Shoot.
You know, I watched it from beginning to end. But
oh crap! Hang on, Noah.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta repeat yourself because it just disconnected me for a little bit.
That's fine. What am I looking for in this movie? What am I missing? What would you say I'm missing?
I mean, if you like, I understand how So I've heard all the criticisms how this movie doesn't really hold up all that well, especially considering how, looking back, you realize how better we had it in Infinity War and Endgame with the amount of action. And I will say, Infinity War and Endgame, both of them, as a movies, superior to the first Avengers. I think the Russo brothers are the best directors, one of, if not the best directors in the whole franchise. But I've heard all the criticisms of this and that, and how some of the costumes, mainly the Captain America suit, isn't really all that great. We forgot to mention that when talking about the Captain America First Avenger. Me personally, I liked Black Widow and Hawkeye. Hawkeye, I wish they did more with in this movie, but whatever. I liked Nick Fury in one of these movies. I mean, it was just a summer blockbuster popcorn for the first time ever. The influence this movie has had, because since this movie, pretty much every single daggone franchise wants its own universe. So the influence this movie had,
would you call it
overall
a good influence or
a bad one? Because now every property wants to be tied in with each other.
It depends on which franchise we're talking about.
I mean, every it seems like.
Because I think there are some that should be attempted, be made. But there are some that I don't think. Why?
Profit. They see how profitable these Avengers movies are, Marvel movies.
Yeah, but the one that immediately comes to mind that I don't know, even though it got scrapped, I don't know if you had heard about this. They were in talks of Men in Black and 2122 Jump Street.
I don't fucking know. That sounds awful though.
It got scrapped. Don't worry about it. But they were talking about it.
Jeez, man. Someone needs to restrain these executives and.
But something like the Godzilla versus Kong, that makes sense. The Universal monster
that was
movies,
already
makes sense.
Universe. That was already.
Yeah, but it never really in live action. Well, the Universal monster movies were, but
Godzilla was always there were puppets, but
was it with Kong?
Yeah. They didn't get an actual monkey, but
of course. Then again, I don't know. I've seen maybe one, maybe two of the old Godzilla movies.
So Godzilla, most of it is either guys in costumes or props, but there are sweeping shots of like real landscapes and people, but like the destruction is all props with like two guys in suits. Technically live
the first
action,
one was made
but
in the 50s, so
yeah,
it's not that big of a surprise.
I mean, they're more live action than these new Godzilla movies.
That's it, below the belt.
I mean, it's true. Besides the real world actors, most of the establishing shots are probably, it's all probably behind a green screen, these actors. Most of it. With CG effects.
Still considering live action.
Yeah, I mean, technically. I was just saying that the older ones are even
So it
more
goes
so.
in the same debate whether Lion King is a live action adaptation or.
It's animated. All of it. Animated. On a computer. Nothing real about it.
Yeah, but it's intended as a live action.
Newsflash, animals don't talk. Just for people out there that are confused, animals don't talk. And all of this is generated on a computer.
Yes, they do.
Just to clarify, anyone who's like genuinely confused with Lion King 2019, it's an animated movie. All the voices are in a booth, voice acted, like for an animated feature film. No different
Animals
from this
don't
one.
talk.
No, they do not. Sorry.
Well, explain humans and parakeets.
Lion King 2019 is not live action.
I consider it live action. It's live action. It's a
Wait,
live action.
Wait.
Go ahead.
I don't think I could debate with you anymore if you're gonna say Lion King is live action 2019. I don't know if I could debate with you and take you seriously on anything anymore.
I was thinking the same thing about you.
It's animated on a computer. It's an animated movie. Are you saying Beowulf is live action? Are you saying
But
Polar
the difference
Express is
is
live action?
the difference is those two movies, they don't even look real. Live
They did
Lion
for the time.
King.
For the time,
No, they
people
don't.
consider them realistic.
No, they
yes,
don't.
they did.
No,
Yes, they
don't.
did. Go back to 2004 and 2007. People thought they
Which
were live
one?
action.
Which
Some
one
people-
looks more realistic? Which one looks more realistic? 2007 Beowulf and 2000 whatever Polar Express, or 2019's Lion King? Which
The
one looks more
technology
realistic?
advanced, but for that time,
So
the technology was up to speed. Same with this one. 20 years down the line, we're gonna look at Lion King 2019 and like, oh, that looks like a piece of shit. It's just something that happens with time. Same with like game graphics. We think it looks amazing or realistic. 8 years down the line, we're like, that doesn't look good anymore. And realism ages worse if you're trying to shoot for realism. You could argue that Pixar's new realistic backgrounds are live action. Are you saying that?
what?
I'm conflicted with you right
You
now.
honestly were cutting out that last part.
The important thing is, Lion King's not live
Ooh.
action. There you go.
It's a
Dude, I can't believe we're having this argument right now. I cannot believe you.
okay.
What's live action about it? Tell me. What live element?
Yes, it's a computer animated
Yep.
hybrid.
How's it a
But it's-
hybrid? Did they take real world shots? Did they superimpose these lion CGs characters over a backdrop, a real backdrop? No, all of it's computer generated. Just because it looks realistic doesn't mean it is realistic. Catch my drift?
Look, I'm not saying it's fully live action.
It's not live action at all.
But it's
What's live action about it?
first off, it was the intent behind it to make a live action
Jon
adaptation
Favreau
to
is
the Lion King.
retarded. I'm sorry. It's
Okay.
Need I say more? I probably should, because that was mean. But there's nothing real in that movie. If there were, like for example, The Jungle Book. That's a good example. It's live action, right? What differentiates The Lion King from The Jungle Book? remake?
Nothing.
Yeah, it does.
Both of them are live action.
One uses camera work along with CG. One uses entirely CG. That's the difference. Was there any camera work done with Lion King?
I agree to disagree.
No, I'm not ending it on that. I'm letting you know that Lion King 2019 is not live action. Anyway, we have a bad case of JDHD right now. We were talking about the Avengers. Oh boy.
How did we get on this freaking discussion?
Because I'll have to go back in editing to find out.
We spent about like 10 minutes alone on this stupid Lion King live action debate.
You heated me up with this because you called.
Yeah, you kept interrupting me when I was trying to make points.
Well, okay. With this being
no,
live
don't worry
action,
about it
go
now.
ahead. No. Continue. What makes it live
Don't worry
action?
about
I've been
it now.
asking you. I've been asking you. What
Moment
makes
has
it live
passed.
action? Nope. You're
Go
gonna
ahead
give
and
me an
move on
answer.
back to the Avengers.
No, tell me what makes this live action, and we'll continue on our little discussion, even though this is the main subject of the video.
What you're not even going to title this video Avengers and Captain America. You're going to title it "Is Lion King 2019 live action
I'm gonna put J
or
97 as a
animation?"
dumbass. That's what I'm gonna put as a title.
Okay.
This would be a good Scooch Gab, though. Is the Lion King 2019 live action? Maybe I should cut out that entire part, put it as a gap. Who knows? Nah. Anyway,
Personally, I just because it was the intent behind it, and you're not going to.
What's the intent? What's the intent?
You gonna keep interrupting me?
Go ahead.
Because it was the intent. Because it was the intent behind it to make a live-action adaptation of The Lion King with all of these other live-action adaptations, The Jungle Book, Mulan, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Maleficent, all of these others. They were wanting to make a live-action adaptations to pretty much all of their Disney classics. They wanted to do one of The Lion King. You're not going to be able to do it completely live action with real animals because, newsflash,
you could.
If they no, you couldn't.
Yeah, you could have some establishing shots in like actual Africa with some animals, and then a close-up scene with dialogue you can animate. No, they took the entire film, everything, animated on a computer. Doesn't matter how good it looks. Doesn't matter the intent. I could have the intent to do whatever, and it could turn out a totally different way. Just because I had the intent of that original idea doesn't mean that it's that idea or end product.
Okay.
I would agree if it's live action, if there's like, if the backdrops was actual Africa with lions superimposed. Sure. But in order for a film to be live action, it has to use photography or videography.
Okay.
All right. So, Joseph, how did you feel about Avengers?
I liked it.
Okay. End of episode 22 on a pretty decisive note. What would you rate? Oh yeah, you already rated it. Oh yeah, This is the end of the show. And we chose to spin it on Lion King. So next episode we're gonna be talking about Iron Man Yeah. Iron Man 3 and what's the other one, Joseph?
Thor: The Dark World.
And Thor: The Dark World. Cool. 2 movies I haven't seen yet, so they'll be new to me. Joseph, did I upset you? Want to bury the
You
hatchet?
kept interrupting me, but whatever.
What?
I'm used
About
to it
what?
by
What?
now.
What did I interrupt you with? I let you speak.
I wasn't done, but you kept interrupting me.
What?
That's fine.
What did I interrupt on? I want to know what I interrupted you on.
It's fine.
No,
I
tell
don't
me.
even want to talk. I don't even want to talk about this daggone debate anymore. I'm burnt out.
Let me hear you out. Okay, I'll hear you out.
No,
Zip.
we've had about 15 minutes doing this now.
Well, let's have 5 more minutes where you fully express your ideas and your arguments.
I've said pretty much everything.
Then what did I interrupt you about? Then not let you finish.
I just want this thing to end.
Oh boy. I'm looking on Craigslist right now for a replacement.
Yeah, I quit.
Craig. We're gonna have what letter comes after J? A B C E F G H I J K. K Mash. We're gonna have K Mash on next.
I'm surprised you did not know that K came after J.
I don't know off the top of my head. Do you know what comes after F? 5,
G.
4, 3. Took you 3 seconds.
I said it right away. It's the Discord delay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't really care. That's good you know the alphabet. You still think Lion King is live action.
Okay.
I feel like we're ending the podcast on a very downer. What should we do to?
We are.
No, I don't want any conflict for episode 23. I don't want it to begin with any conflict. Can we at least get a mash out?
Mash out.